as far as anybody can tell, I mean, it's entirely a decision by President Yoon, and unaffected by any recent activity by the North Koreans, who are spending their time concentrating on, if you want, their relationship with Moscow rather than any challenge to Seoul. I mean, obviously, Kim Jong Un's statement back in his last New Year's address about changing the status of South Korea to, if you want, from to the main enemy, has implications, but there's nothing recent.
Well, for the time being, it seems that we are moving towards an impeachment process here. But what I would like to understand is whether it's likely that this move from the president will backfire for right-wing politicians.
Well, I would have thought the answer is yes. I mean, President Yoon has got very high levels of, very low levels of popularity, high levels of unpopularity. There's a series of scandals around him and his wife. It was already looking bad for the conservative forces in South Korea. This is only making it worse. I mean, he was a lame duck after the last National Assembly elections. It seems to me now he's a dead duck. I'd have thought you're in an anonymous vote, you're going to find those 9 conservative lawmakers to actually vote for impeachment. The biggest problem then is apparently, and I'm not a South Korean legal expert, is the Constitutional Court, because there's so many vacancies on the court, they don't actually have the numbers to do their part of the job, which is to make a judgment as to whether that impeachment is valid.
Interesting. Now, I also like to understand what are the implications here, because we have seen some concern for investors off the back of these developments, these shocking developments, really. Is there a sense, do you get a sense that we'll actually get political stability in Korea in the near future? Is this likely to be a short-lived episode?
I'd have thought, unfortunately, no. I mean, the impeachment process takes time. If he is impeached, we have the problem with the Constitutional Court. You then have to have an election within, I think it's 60 days. So that seems to imply that if that process is ongoing, I mean, there's a degree of disruption for the next 60 days, and we won't know who wins the consequent presidential election and all that means. I mean, secondly, it's going to create a problem for, if you want, South Korea's partners, because the European Union and individual member states, including the United Kingdom, which is not in the EU now, have been talking about security partnerships with Seoul. There's issues about joining the Quad. All of those are going to be put on hold. Yeah, this is a problem.
That's exactly where I was going to go next. Give us a little bit more color in terms of what this means for strategic partners such as the UK, such as the US. What could happen here?
Well, I mean, all it means is all of these attempts to bring Korea into active engagement are going to be on hold. For the moment, everybody's going to be waiting and watching to see the outcome of this process. And even if Yoon narrowly survives, if they get 199 votes rather than 200, I mean, that probably makes it worse, because it will be impossible for him to do anything at all. And Korea is going to be in limbo. And we've already seen that we've got a number of countries. The United States is in a degree of limbo, waiting for the inauguration on the 20th of January of Donald Trump. We've got the French government is struggling. The German government's got elections. It's not good news for the West and the rest.
Not good news for the West, but therefore, who's winning with this news? Who's happy about it?
Well, I thought Vladimir Putin would have a smile on his face, and in as much as one can imagine it, so will Kim Jong Un. Even if he hasn't got any short-term ambitions, a degree of chaos in South Korea must be music to his ears.